All right, guys, welcome to the super late night show. We're getting started at 1 a.m. tonight, and I'm going to be doing two videos tonight. The first is going to be reacting to this article I just came across on the Gateway Pundit, and then I'm going to end the stream, and then we're going to start a new stream for the next video that I kind of want to react to. And I'm only doing that because for the YouTube search engine optimization, it's better if you stick to one topic for a video than throw too many into one. So we're going to try something new. These are the games I got to play since I'm shadow banned. But this article I thought was super, super creepy and weird. And I'll give you my story too after I go through this about why I know that Joe Biden and his White House is doing this. So this is from our friends at the Gateway Pundit. God bless Jim Hoft. Harvard attorney and TikTok influencer says he was offered $400 to make anti-Trump propaganda related to January 6th, shows receipts. So this is something creepy that the White House has actually done before, earlier in Joe Biden's administration. You guys might remember that he hired that gay influencer. He also did something with the Jonas Brothers. Really weird stuff because it was so obviously not organic. All the stuff was highly produced, highly edited, highly staged. It was really just bizarre stuff. Excuse me. So, TikTok influencer and attorney Preston Moore claimed in one of his videos that he was asked $400 to spread false information about President Trump related to the January 6th investigation. So, we all know the truth about January 6th, and we also know that the White House, the mainstream media, is really trying to create propaganda surrounding January 6th. Ultimately, it wasn't an insurrection. It was a riot. There was some pushing and shoving. People did get injured. It was a mix of Trump supporters, Antifa, BLM. We all know this. This is nothing new. Probably some Fed boys and probably some professional provocateurs. And it just goes to show you the lengths that the White House is going to push this story forward. And it's interesting, though. I've noticed in the past couple of months that my TikTok is once again shadow banned. I'm not getting the growth that I used to get. I'm not getting the shares that I used to get. Sorry, that's TikTok in the background. How do I stop this? Shh. Stop. How do I turn this off? Okay, there we go. So I'm not getting the we'll get to that later, Marvin, at the end. I'm not getting to, and thanks for the super chat. I'm not getting the shares I used to get. I'm not getting the engagement I used to get. The way you really grow on TikTok is shares. And what I think they're doing is they're not showing my account to the people that are most likely to share my content. I think before, when I was in shadow ban, they were sharing my my content. Not anymore. So I'm highly shadow banned on TikTok. And I think this is what they're doing. They're colluding with the White House because they're literally paying people like this guy to promote fake news. And then they're taking my content, which I think is accurate and truthful. And if it's not those, then it's passionate. All right. And they are shadow banning my content. So it's this easy for our government to kind of push the levers of propaganda. So before we get into the article, let's play his video. I'm going to play his video from TikTok. Whoops, hold on, guys. Hold on, I got to turn the volume back on.
Completely not true. I should start out this video.
Let's start this over. Here we go. Let me make the volume maxed.
I was just offered $400 to make an anti-Donald Trump propaganda post related to the January 6th investigation. That is completely not true. I should start out this video by saying I'm not a Donald Trump supporter, so that should give a little bit of context to where I'm coming from. I'm an attorney. I post legal news and analysis on related topics. Okay, here we go with the story. So first thing first, I get an email from somebody with the Good Info Foundation. We'll talk about them a little more in a minute. I'm going to refer to this person as Jane. Jane sent me a message letting me know she represented the Good Info Foundation and that she was willing to offer a paid collaboration to discuss some topics related to January 6th. said, sure, why not? I'll learn some more. Jane says the Good Info Foundation will give me $400 to make a post on my page and then share it to Instagram. So you see that blue link? All right, here, we're going to follow it. These are the specific requirements in order to obtain that $400 of how I should refer to the January 6th Capitol raid. Number one, I must call this a criminal conspiracy. Number two, I must say Trump Republicans were responsible. Number three, I must frame it as an attack on my country, an attack on America or Americans, a criminal conspiracy, and a committed crime. I must attribute the matter to MAGA Republicans. I must make clear that this was ongoing and unresolved. And most importantly, that I must channel all of this unto the manipulation of voter agencies so that I could turn their anger around this event into.
So there it is, guys. in plain, bold English for us, there it is. The entire reason why the Democrats need to make January 6th a threat and a big thing is voter turnout. For what? For power. That's all this is about. And it's just clear as day right here.
To defiance that would make people more likely to vote in midterms. And the thing that struck me the most was this part, where I was told to talk about the aspects of the Trump campaign's plan. And I was supposed to say that the Trump campaign paid literally millions of dollars to make January 6th happen. So I figured, maybe I missed something. So I said, hey, Jane, what is the basis for the claim that the Trump campaign itself paid millions of dollars to make the January 6th siege of the Capitol happen? Jane doesn't answer the question. Hi, Preston. If you don't want to state that in the video, it's fine. You don't have to use all the bullet points provided. So I kept going. Sure, I'm just wondering if there's support for that claim. Jane doesn't answer again. Let me know if you are interested and the rate works for you. Thanks so much. I'm not interested, and the rate doesn't work for me. This is the Good Info Foundation. They boast on their homepage that good information is the lifeblood of a democracy. They further cry that we are in an information crisis. And the crazy thing about all of that? They're right. I was just off.
Wow. Oh, God, I wasn't even playing the video. Sorry, guys. So that was really creepy. Let me play the end for you guys again because I didn't realize I didn't pull up on the screen. That was a rookie move by me. Here it is, guys. Sorry about that.
So I figured, maybe I missed something. So I said, hey, Jane, what is the basis for the claim that the Trump campaign itself paid millions of dollars to make the January 6th siege of the Capitol happen? Jane doesn't answer the question. Hi, Preston. If you don't want to state that in the video, it's fine. You don't have to use all the bullet points provided. So I kept going. Sure, I'm just wondering if there's support for that claim. Jane doesn't answer again. Let me know if you are interested and the rate works for you. Thanks so much. I'm not interested, and the rate doesn't work for me. This is the Good Info Foundation. They boast on their homepage that good information is the lifeblood of a democracy. They further cry that we are in an information crisis. And the crazy thing about all of that? They're right.
So, guys, that is some really, 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 really creepy stuff. And what I find interesting is he tried to pressure them into giving him information about the claim, and they just ignore the question. So how do you call your company the Good Info when you're literally sending him lies and bullet points, and then when he questions where'd you get that info from, they just ignore it? I also like how they don't call it an information war, because that would kind of give some credibility to Alex Jones's InfoWar. I mean, it's a great website name, let's be honest, because we are in an information war right now. And let's go to their website. So this is the Good Information Foundation. Good information is the lifeblood of democracy. Okay. Disinformation is threatening public health, safety, social trust, and democracy. I mean, lying about Trump paying millions of dollars to make January 6th happen would be disinformation. 96 million. And by the way, just for YouTube, I'm just reading from the Good Information Foundation. I'm not actually justifying any of these claims. 96 million Americans believe the 2020 election was stolen. 89 million Americans believe voter fraud is a major problem. 264 million Americans can't name their state legislators. 185 million Americans don't trust traditional media. I think three of these I can actually speak to on YouTube. The first is that 89 million Americans believe voter fraud is a major problem. Again, YouTube, I'm not saying that voter fraud had anything to do with any past elections. All I'm just trying to say is if Americans are concerned about discrepancies or errors in our elections. That to me would be part of democracy, expressing those views, pointing out evidence, pointing out videos, pointing out data points. That's what a democracy should allow, that kind of discourse. 264 million Americans can't name their state legislators. I'll be honest, I can't name my state legislators in either New York or Florida. So I'm not surprised. I mean, I do like the political stuff, but I don't really know who my state legislators are. And I'll probably look that up later today so that I can move out of this audience and go to the minority. 185 million Americans don't trust social media. Yeah, I mean, they've lied to us so much over the past, I'm going to say 45, 6 years, but it goes on way before that. I mean, they've probably been lying to us since the start of mainstream media, since the start of cable news and television and newspapers. We've always probably been lied to. That's why it's called television. It's not television, it's television, because you're telling a story. Let's look at this about. Oh, we already looked at that page. Look at the board chair. The Good Information Foundation is a 501c3 tax-exempt organization committed to financial accountability and transparency. Okay, I just clicked board chair and it doesn't have anything. That's weird. Doesn't have anything about the board chair. Okay. Cool website. You put board chair and they don't have anything. So I could join them, sign for updates. I can donate. I'm definitely not donating to these clowns. So I'm pretty proud of this guy for bringing the truth to light. Now, I want to tell you guys a story from the 2020 election, and I'm not going to say any names here because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. But back when I used to work in New York City, I used to work in the advertising industry. And I had a lot of major clients that would give me millions of dollars a year. Not me personally, my company, and I would get a percentage of that. One of my clients was one of the largest technology companies in the world. You could probably guess which company it was. I'm not going to say it, but it was one of the largest not telecommunications, but they were in the mobile phone game. But it was one of the biggest home electronics companies in the world. On that team was a woman who I'm just going to also call Jane. That's not her real name, but we're going to call her Jane. And she was a client that I did business with, that I took out to dinner, drinks many times, that I knew very, very well in terms of a client sales rep relationship. Now, I left the industry in 2017 and I became a world traveler. Now, let's fast forward to 2020. I'm still connected on Facebook to a lot of my clients. Thank you so much, Ken. Appreciate that. As always, man, you're the man. So I kept in touch with a lot of my clients. So a lot of my clients had exposure to my political posts in 2020. Now, if I go back in time, my political game was not very polished back then. I probably said a lot of things that were incorrect. I probably did not phrase things properly. I probably had some terminologies confused. I was a baby in the political game. I had a lot of stuff I was learning as I was going. And I would post some pro-Trump content, and I would notice that as I started posting some pro-Trump thoughts and pro-Trump ideas, I started getting a lot of my clients commenting on my posts that, hey, Adam, you're starting to sound like a right-winger, because I would question a lot of the narratives. I wasn't just like diving in like they were. I wasn't posting, the black square like they were. So when you didn't post the black square, people kind of looked at you like, why didn't you do that? So I had all these ex-clients like trying to fact check me on my posts. And it was like really weird because they were very aggressive. It's like every single post I put up, there was the same 4 names, the same 4 clients. Now I had a few clients, ex-clients, that started getting really, really aggressive on my page. And it was getting a little scary for me. But again, I was all pro free speech. So I left everyone's comments up and I just didn't, I tried to engage. Sometimes I didn't engage. And one of my ex-clients started to message other friends of mine, people that were unrelated. in the political game, but they went through my friend's feed and they started messaging people to try to dig up some dirt on me. And the dirt that they were trying to dig up was whether or not I was getting paid by Donald Trump. There was this rumor going around that I was on Donald Trump's or the Republicans' books. I'll tell you right now, guys, I have never received a dime from anything Republican or Trump related. I wish I did. If Donald Trump, you're watching this, please pay me in 2024 election. But the reality is, I have never been paid a cent by anybody except for AdSense through Google, through my few T-shirt sales I've done, and then from you guys like Ken Johnson with the Super Chats. Besides that, oh, and people have handed me money in person before. That's it. That's the only way I made money from YouTube. I've never done this for money. I'm actually doing this because I believe in it. So one of these ex-clients starts to call, literally phone calls with some people that I knew. And one of my friends, I actually at this point forgot who it was, decides to entertain one of these ex-clients of mine and gets on the phone. And he said it was really creepy because it sounded like there were multiple people in the room. It sounded like she was being fed questions to ask. It sounded like there were people listening in, and it also sounded like she was trying to record the conversation. They were asking him things like, is Adam being paid? Do you know if Adam has been contacted by the Republicans? And this friend of mine, whoever it was, I don't remember, but they were just like, from my understanding, no, Adam's just doing this because he really believes in it. And they didn't believe that. They were shocked. So then I decided to do some digging of my own, and I find out that my client, Jane, now Jane, by the way, my ex-client, she has not been commenting. She's not been bothering me. But I start looking at all my old clients on LinkedIn, and I start to look around. I type in words like Democrat, Biden, and then bingo, I find one of my ex-clients, Jane, was actually working for Joe Biden as a digital strategist. That was her full-time job. She was working for Joe Biden as a strategist. So I started to connect the breadcrumbs, and what I realized was this ex-client of mine was probably working with these other ex-clients of mine on a paid relationship where and again, this is just, I'm alleging. There's no facts about this, guys. But my theory is some Democratic PAC some Democratic funders had a budget and were paying people on social media to keep an eye on their social network for anybody that was spreading pro-Trump information like me, and then to outwardly and openly fact check them on the newsfeed publicly. So that way, if somebody saw my pro-Trump content, they would also then see the fact check in the comment section. That's what I think happened. And the reason why they thought I was being paid was because we all know this. The Democrats are the kings of whatever they're doing, they accuse Republicans of doing. And that's what they do. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened in 2020. And I'm pretty sure that's why these people were so aggressive. Plus, these people probably were very anti-Trump to begin with. So it didn't take much motivation for them to jump onto this project. But that's what I think happened. And now that I'm seeing this with the receipts coming out, and we've seen receipts before, but this is the most common receipts that we've seen in 2022. I'm not surprised at all that this is happening. I know it's happening. I know that TikTok is manipulating the algorithm. I know that YouTube is manipulating the algorithm. Again, my last videos have been really good in production quality, in content, in themes. They're on point. They're current, and I'm not getting any of the views that I should be getting. And it is getting really frustrating to me that YouTube is putting such a clamp on my channel because I put so much work into this craft. And I put a lot of energy into this. And the fact that I'm not seeing the rewards with the views and the subscriber growth is really, really, really frustrating. But I know that if I give up and quit, then I'm giving in to what their goal is, which is to make me want to quit. Because I'm not in violating their terms and conditions. So they can't remove me. That's the challenge, right? They want me gone, but they can't remove me. So they just keep me in this like grind of trying to get views up. And for me, 1,000 views is a success. 2,000 is a victory. And that's pretty pathetic, to be honest, guys, after doing this for 2 years. But I'm not going to let them give up, because it's kind of in my nature not to give up, right? I got this kidney thing going on. I'm not giving up. So I'm certainly not going to give up here. and that's why I appreciate all you guys, kind of being here on my channel. So let's go to some of these comments that you guys had. Marvin, the TNA show is over. It just wasn't a priority for my co-host. So, and I, to be honest, I mean, she did invest a lot of money into the studio, but when you're not there ever to do shows, and you just don't want to do show, like you just don't want to do the shows that much, and you're traveling a lot, it doesn't make sense to have a co-host that's out of the country, most of the time. So I will bring back a podcast in the near future. I do have a potential co-host in the works. Her name does not start with a T; it starts with an S. So we'll have to figure out, what the name's going to be. But she's definitely an idea of a co-host. I've also been talking with everyone's favorite Ricky Rebel again, and we might be doing a show again. We'll see. But no more TNA show. That show is over. Rest in peace. All right. What else? You can get in touch with her through Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. I mean, I think those are the three best ways to get in touch with her. What link are you looking for? I can send you whatever link you want. Awesome. So that's kind of the update on the story, guys. That's pretty crazy stuff. Just really goes to show the lengths that our government and social media is the things that they're doing to kind of collude. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm actually going to end this feed, and I'm going to start a new one with a new title. So if you guys want to join me on that feed, just go back to my YouTube channel and then join the new link. I'm going to be back on in about 2 minutes. So I'll see you guys soon. As always, be free, my sheeple, and God bless Trump.